I was with Laura Albert in November for Williams-Sonoma, very good company, at 220, and now it's at 151. And they haven't pre-announced it, but CVS has got the benefit of the I mean, that may be the biggest COVID winner of all time, Carl. I mean, because unlike Peloton, I mean, you still got to get the shots. Peloton, by the way, is David, it's got that Zynga feel to it.
Is it too early to buy Peloton?
It's a Zynga situation.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like when we bring up our greatest hits.
It finally goes down to 6. By the way, Moffitt-Nathanson just teed off on
take two. We'll talk a bit about that later if you want.
Brutal.
I mean, a lot of positive analysts on the deal, but Moffitt-Nathanson was not one of them.
Well, it's very interesting to see. I think people at home have to realize that most research is pretty positive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, wow, Strauss,
it's
what a coup.
It's the sell side.
Yeah,
we do.
What a coup.
Tends to be why we focus more often on the sells, because they're so rare and at least give you something interesting, whereas buy is the chorus of Wall Street.
Right. And so therefore, I mean, I'm reading the take two. I don't even know the guy. I know Moffitt-Nathanson. I know the firm.
This guy Clay, I don't know.
I don't know the guy, but Clay, yeah. But I'm reading it. It's like, well, wait a second. I know you want to talk about that, so I don't want to steal your thunder, but
it's okay.
Obviously it's kind of what he talked about is the change in the narrative. Now, I love the concept of the change in the narrative. I mean, I don't know when did it start that was the way people talk. Like, what was the point where people started talking about the narrative and the change in the narrative?
Somebody brought that into the
I remember.
lexicon.
I mean, I'm going to tell a sad one, okay?
He's going to tell a sad narrative?
When my father was 92, okay, and he had a great run, right? But I remember, like, he was faltering. And I said to the doctor, you told me he was fine. And the doctor said, there's a change in the narrative. And I turned to my sister and said, change in the narrative? Does that, mean that my dad's not fine? Well, now when you hear change in the narrative on Wall Street, it means run. Run.
Yeah. Facts do change.
Facts do change.
And points of view change.
Well, the change in the narrative in Peloton was clarion call.
Yeah. Well, speaking of COVID-related disruptions, Facebook's parent Meta delaying return to office to March 28, adding that proof of a booster will be required. Interesting. Facebook has been, I think, quick to delay return to office, but going as far as to late March is interesting on a week, Jim, where we printed 1.3 million new cases yesterday.
I know. I mean, I don't want to be too defeatist about it, but I did listen to Dr. Gottlieb say that 60% of our country's going to get it. So, David, you can put people in the office. It's like what Frank Del Rio said from...
We're running it about that right here on the desk. 66%.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm holding out. I don't know why I don't get
There will be some. There will be some who don't get it.
I guess.
It could be one.
I know other people like you haven't had it. What's that like?
I don't know.
What's that like when you haven't had it?
I don't want to get it now just because of the inconvenience it will cause my family. Like, my daughter would probably not be able to go to school.
An inconvenience.
I'm not worried. I mean, I watched you guys. You were fine.
Well,
I'm not concerned having had 3 shots. The evidence would strongly suggest I'm not going to get overly sick.
See, AMLO got it a second time?
Yes, I did, the president of Mexico, but he's not overly sick. He's working.
No, he's working.
Yeah.
Great. Giving it to everybody.